For example, technological advancement in cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin result in a high upfront cost to miners in the form of specialized hardware and software. Cryptocurrency transactions are normally irreversible after a number of blocks confirm the transaction. Additionally, cryptocurrency private keys can be permanently lost from a local storage due to malware, data loss, or the destruction of the physical media. This precludes the cryptocurrency from being spent, resulting in its effective removal from the market. Academic studies. In September 2015, the establishment of the peer-reviewed academic journal Ledger ISSN 2379-590 was announced. It covers studies of cryptocurrencies and related technologies and is published by the University of Pittsburgh. The journal encourages authors to digitally sign a file hash of submitted paper, which will then be typed into the Bitcoin blockchain. Authors also asked to include a personal Bitcoin address in the first page of their papers. Ad agencies. A number of ad agencies have started accepting donations in cryptocurrencies, including UNICEF. Christopher Fabian, principal advisor at UNICEF Innovation, said the Children's Fund would uphold donor protocols, meaning that people making donation online would have to pass checks before they were allowed to deposit funds. However, in 2021, there was a backlash against donations in bitcoins because of the environmental emissions it caused. Some agencies stopped accepting bitcoins and others turned to greener cryptocurrencies. The US arm of Greenspace stopped accepting bitcoins donations after 7 years. It said as the amount of energy needed to run Bitcoin became clearer, this policy became no longer tenable. In 2022, the Ukrainian government raised over 10 lakh US dollars worth of aid through cryptocurrency following the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine. Criticism. Bitcoin has been criticized as a speculative bubble by 8 winner of the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences, Paul Kingdom, Robert Scheller, Johannes Stillers, Richard Thaler, James Hackers, Thomas Sanger, Aegis Ditton, Oliver Hart, and by central bank officials including Ala Green, Austin Christie's, Victor Constantio, and now Will King. Investor Warren Buffett and George Soros have respectively characterized it as a mud and a bubble, while business executive Jack and MP Morgan Chase. Legal scholars cities criticize the lack of regulations which hinder conflict resolution when crypto assets are at the center of a legal dispute. Should cryptocurrencies be banned? This resource is Liquidity, a collaborative effort to gather and organize all arguments on a given issue. It is a tool of argument analysis or pro and co analysis. This is not a place to defend your preferred points of view, but original arguments are allowed and welcome. See the Wikidebate guideline for some. Should cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin be banned? Cryptocurrencies should be banned for pro-mining. Cryptocurrencies requires energy consumptions and the result is creation of something redundant. Since 1 3 there are fiat currencies serving the purpose of the currency well, and 2 those who fear irresponsible dealing with fiat currencies. Quantitative easing can use gold as store of value, and no government can print gold. Objections: car racing or aircraft sport computation require energy consumptions and are for pleasure, and they are alternative pleasurable activities. Thus, the arguments suggest a much broader principle to be discussed, formulated, and critically examined. And if that principle is accepted, it should be adopted rather than sealing out cryptocurrencies. Objections: the demand of increased electricity could increase investment in green energy such as wind and solar. Objection: W proof of stake currencies such as W Ethereum supposedly require far less energy than W proof of work such as Bitcoin. Pros: the use of cryptocurrencies is an evasion of the state monopoly on currency. For that reason, they should be illegal. Objection: other currencies, other paper, precious metal, and better also challenge such monopolies. Should they be illegal? Pros: cryptocurrencies are much more useful to criminals than honest citizens and groups. They support tax evasions, black markets, and money laundering. Objections: such isn't always easy, even with cryptocurrencies, or at least not much easier than with fiat. Fiat currencies, if for example a dealer takes what he or she thinks is a kilogram of hashish from undercover police, it probably doesn't matter if payment is not Bitcoin or cash. Objections: Bitcoin is good for exteriors, particularly in hijacking computers. Objections: those computers are probably vulnerable because measures to counter such are not employed. People should back up their debt against. Con: people should be free to enter into contracts if they so choose. No one is forced to pay energy bills for cryptocurrency mining. Objection: if fossil fuels are burned to provide the electricity, there is an environmental cost. Con: cryptocurrency provide incentives for advancement of chip performance. Their mining creates demand for ever faster chips. Therefore, those who mine them in part finance faster chips for everyone. Objection: is so far as the added demand